Miles had spent exactly 2 years in prison, and today was his release day. Strangely, no one came to pick him up, but instead of feeling disappointed, he was overjoyed dancing on the street. Deep down, he knew he was about to become a billionaire. 2 years ago, he and his partner had set their sights on a diamond worth $500 million. The moment he had the diamond in his hands, a swarm of police officers suddenly appeared, surrounding him from all sides. Thinking fast, he slipped into a nearby construction site and, in the chaos, hid the diamond in the ventilation shaft on the west side of the 3rd floor. Then he voluntarily surrendered to the police, hoping to get a lighter sentence. He made sure to memorize the exact location of the diamond before his arrest. 2 years later, he returned to the spot, full of anticipation, only to find that the construction site had been transformed into a police station. He could hardly believe his eyes and repeatedly asked passersby,
"Of course."
After receiving a confirmation, he could only stomp his foot in frustration. But Miles wasn't one to give up easily. He quickly noticed that delivery drivers were allowed into the police station to drop off food, so he immediately disguised himself as a pizza delivery man, planning to sneak inside. However, a police officer at the front desk told him that only 2 kinds of people could access the 3rd floor: suspects in handcuffs or officers with badges. Since he had just been released from prison, he obviously couldn't choose the first option. That left him with no choice but to find a way to become the second type of person. At that moment, an intern officer, Luke Wilson, was standing by the elevator, fumbling with his access card and clearly unsure of how to use it. Miles seized the opportunity, handed him the pizza, and asked him to take it to the 3rd floor, casually swiping the access card in the process. Once he had the card, Miles immediately contacted a friend to forge a new identity for him, one of a highly decorated officer with a long history of solving major cases. Back home, he spent hours watching police procedurals, meticulously studying the way officers talk, walk, and behave. The next day, he put on a sharp suit and walked confidently into the police station, swiping his card to access the elevator. But when the doors opened, he almost froze in place. Inside were armed police officers everywhere. He forced himself to stay calm, mimicking the body language of a nearby officer, crossing his arms and walking in as if everything was normal. Upon reaching the 3rd floor, he quickly found the location he had memorized, only to discover that it was a women's restroom. After confirming that no one was inside, he hurried in and began removing the vent cover. Just then, an inmate rushed into the restroom, trying to escape through the ventilation shaft. To avoid exposing himself, Miles quickly took action, knocking the inmate to the ground. Real police officers arrived soon after, and seeing the open vent and the man on the floor, the chief immediately demanded an explanation. Miles calmly explained that the inmate had attempted to escape through the ventilation shaft, but he had stopped him in time. When asked about his identity, he claimed to be a newly transferred officer from a higher department and showed the fake badge he had prepared. The police chief, short on staff and impressed by his outstanding record, didn't hesitate to assign Miles to duty and paired him with Luke Wilson as his partner. The two were soon dispatched to investigate a theft at an auto repair shop. The owner claimed that $5,000 worth of rims had been stolen and insisted that the thief had broken in through the window. But Miles immediately spotted the flaw in the story. Based on his experience, he pointed out that a real expert wouldn't break in through a window. Instead, they would enter through the ceiling, disable the alarm, and open the door from the inside to drive in a truck and steal the goods. As he spoke, he pointed to a truck parked outside and asked the owner what it was. In the owner's panicked expression, Miles used a wire to unlock the truck, and sure enough, he found the so-called stolen rims inside. He didn't arrest the owner on the spot, but gave him a cold warning. If he tried to defraud the insurance again, Miles promised the man would regret it. That day, Miles not only successfully infiltrated the police station, but also solved the case. More importantly, the priceless diamond was now hidden in the police station's ventilation shaft, closer to him than ever before.